How we doing? So my name is Dr. Gifford Howarth. I'm the percussion professor here at Bloom. Welcome to our Spring 2021 concert. This is our second one here. We are taking advantage of the lovely high-tech technology, live streaming to a whole bunch of people out there. Ironically, and I didn't do this on purpose, but we got, May the 4th be with you. Nanu Nanu, if you know what that reference is for. So what you just heard is actually going to be one of the bigger pieces, from a pure numbers standpoint, that we're going to do all night. The title of it's called Teamwork, and it combined a bunch of what I like to use the term timbres. We had, these metal sounds, rim work. We had actual drums. So the official term we call them is membranophones. We had the instruments that have the wooden bars here called marimbas. It's set up just like a piano. So that's where the melody's coming from. The timpani at a low end pitch type situation. To add to the variety of the piece. So to me, Teamwork by Lynn Glossick is one of these where it's a combination of timbres. You're going to, for a couple of reasons, I'm going to be talking a little bit more than I usually do, but one has to do with, those of you at home can't see this, which I really like, but we're resetting the stage in between each piece. So I'm kind of giving them the time to reset. And then also, another one of my main duties here at Bloomsburg is I teach a world music class. It's a gen ed cultural diversity class. And I've got folks here in the audience, and I've got folks from the class that are at home getting extra credit. So I'm going to be, throwing out some nuggets that they need to keep track of in order to get the full extra credit. So that's why you're going to hear me talk about a bunch of musical terms as we go through here. So the next piece up is a trio. So we have three people. It's by the same composer that did the first piece. And Lynn Glossick, I think he still teaches in North Carolina, but he may be retired. But he's composed for percussion for a very long time. I like to use the term, he's one of our friends. We like him. He writes a ton. And I like the different difficulty levels of how he writes. Over the years, I've probably done 20 to 24 of his different pieces with the group. And it's like beginning level stuff to rather advanced level stuff. This next piece deals with meter. He calls it, time mixer, time, pulse, like you guys sitting there nodding your head, tapping your foot when you listen to the stuff that's on your playlist. Well, this is one of those pieces. It's like good luck tapping your foot and nodding your head, because this is not consistent, nor is it written to be consistent. So the subdivision moves around all over the place. And he's utilizing mostly a drum setup. Each of the three players has at least one, if not two, three drums, but then some other element added to it. So this is Lynn Glossick's Time Mixer. So as they set up the next piece, so obviously the fall 20, spring 21 school year has been rather interesting nationwide. What is nice about being a drummer through all of this is having masks on for us is no big deal. So we have been able to practice in person just about 95% of the time. You're going to notice that first piece, we had 7 pieces. So I got 3, I got 4. There'll be another one coming up that has 5, and then 4, and then 3. I purposely am picking smaller groupings, for the pieces. The last piece, which we'll get into detail later on, we are still spread out. We all have masks on, but you need a bunch of people for the end of the concert. So pianists, COVID's not that big of a deal. For us, I think the worst folks are the singers, and they've actually designed these kind of unique singing masks. And then the wind players, depending on the instrument, it's kind of tough. But what's been great, especially in the spring, is for the most part, we've been having our music majors have all been able to do a bunch in person. Guitarist is another one that's like super easy to have a mask on all the time. Okay, so this next piece, which is a quartet, so we got 4. It's called Quadratic Quad, hence the 4. Quadratic Equation. Chris Crockroll is the composer. He runs his own publishing company, him and his partner, and all they do is they deal with great percussion pieces, and they've been around for a while. And again, what I like about their works is they've got basic stuff, intermediate stuff, advanced stuff. They kind of bridge the whole gamut kind of thing. Now, what's interesting is I think the timbral kind of setup with this quartet is very similar to the trio that you just heard, except with a lot of this, the pulse is consistent, which the previous one, it definitely was not. By the way, the previous song, a lot of that was in 7. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This, a lot of it is just in our straight ahead in 4 and 16 count phrases, which is what like 99% of the popular music is based on today. But then it completely shifts. So I want to see if you can pick up on the shift. So you're going to hear this, 1, 2, 3, 4, yum, bum, 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 bum. Then this won't change, but all of a sudden it'll be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It'll be like a 3 feel. The subdivision has been turned into 3 instead of 2. And this is something that, as percussionists, it's all about rhythm for us. So this is stuff that, we focus on. But this is the variety of this piece, is this whole feeling of 4 into a triplet feel kind of idea. So, see if you can check that out. But again, like I said before, the setup's very similar. Everybody's got a couple drums, and then everybody has some other timbre, some other idophone type instrument. All right, so this is Quadratic Equation, Chris Crockroll. So now we're going to do what we love to call a complete set change. So those of you at home, you get to miss out on all the craziness on stage, but that's okay. So the next, we're going to have a soloist here, and I love making sure I give the percussion majors the opportunity to perform in some of the percussion ensemble concerts. So I'll talk about Stephen here in a little bit, but these next 4 pieces are just literally going to go bang, 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 bang. So I'm going to talk quite a bit now. We're going to talk about this whole block that's coming up. Before I forget, because I know I will, but a ginormous, huge thanks to Abby Manns, who runs Haas, and she also runs Carver, all the logistical stuff. Her and what I love to refer to as Abby and her team. So I know she's got a bunch of student workers that are helping her out all the time. So she's been a huge help getting all the logistic stuff ready for this. And then Asa is our go-to IT guy that's helping us out with the live stream aspect of stuff. So I want to make sure I give it a shout out to those guys. Now, we've got a set of 3 what we like to refer in percussion circles is ragtime xylophone pieces. This is really hit it big in the 1920s into the 30s. This was a huge thing, a huge entertainment thing. And it was a xylophone, which is very similar. Again, it's set up like a piano. It's very similar to a marimba, which is the piece you're going to hear soloed on first. But it would be with a piano accompaniment. And I know this may be a little sacrilege for some people out there, but if you've ever seen the movie The Sting, okay, which is a Robert Redford, an amazing movie, but the whole soundtrack is all this kind of music, not exactly, but from a similar time frame. You guys are going to recognize some of this, just the overall feel of it. But what I want to point out is the fact that there is no piano up here. Because in the 1970s at the Eastman School of Music, some very important gentlemen got together and they created this Eastman Marimba Band. And one of these folks happened to be the person I studied with up at Ithaca College, Mr. Gordon Stout. And this was a huge hit in percussion circles. And this, what you're about to hear with the ragtime stuff, this gets played all over the place. It's awesome. So I'm going to talk briefly about a couple of the soloists that we're going to highlight, but I wanted to make sure I kind of pointed out this Eastman School of Music angle on things. So first up is we're going to have a current junior percussion audio recording major, Stephen Schaefer, and for a lot of you, this is going to be the first time you've ever seen this. Something happened in the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, where instead of us playing like this, somebody decided to kind of put 2 mallets in one hand and then 2 over here. We had 4s, called 4-mallet technique. Huge groundbreaking thing. 1970s, mid-1970s, a gentleman by the name of Lee Howard Stevens redefined how to hold 2 mallets in one hand. Because of what he did in the 70s, the marimba, which is the instrument that's about to be highlighted, has turned into by far the most popular soloistic instrument for percussionists. You've never seen it before. It's kind of cool to watch what the wrist does, how we can rotate our wrist a certain way. We have both mallets in the same hand, hit the bars at the same time, and then I can rotate the wrist a different way and just have one mallet hit at a time. So this is one of these techniques that Stephen's been working on with me. What he's about to play is actually an original guitar, a solo guitar piece from the early 1800s. Classical guitar. Kind of like a technique building etude. It's called a Caprice, but it's very pretty. It works great on the marimba. I stumbled onto a guitar, the guitar sheet music at a used bookstore once, like 30 years ago, and then arranged it for marimba. There's something about 6 strings on a classical guitar transferred over to our 4 mallets. It works wonderfully. So this is Stephen Schaefer doing Caprice number 1 by Carcassi. Okay. So these next 3 pieces, I'm not going to come back. So I'm going to pick, well, I will come back. Well, no, I won't, because I don't want to move that much. So Skylar, who's about to feature, it'd be the featured xylophonist in the 1st and 3rd of these next 3. He is one of our exiting seniors. I'm going to talk more about some of the other exiting seniors later on, but Skylar is what I like to refer to as an adoptive percussion major, because he's not one. He's in, computer science, right? Okay, computer science, but already has a gig, graduating in May. He's already got a job. But he has been in Percussion Ensemble pretty much every semester he's been here. He took lessons with me for a couple of years. He took piano lessons. He's grown up playing the piano. There is this thing in, with the brain, right brain, left brain. Music and math live together up here. So he's a perfect example of that, because he's all into the computer math, number crunching stuff, and then the music just is right there with it. So this, so I always try to kind of, at least say something with the exiting seniors. George Hamilton Green is the name of the gentleman that wrote the first 2 pieces that we are going to play. He is the godfather of ragtime xylophone music. The 3rd piece is Harry Brewer, and I would say he is the great cousin to the grandfather. I mean, he's right up there. But George Hamilton Green is the master of this. Phenomenal. So here are the songs for those of you at home. And I'm pretty sure they are flashing up, but just in case. So we've got Rainbow Ripples, followed by Log Cabin Blues, followed by On the Woodpile. And Stephen Schaefer, who just slayed the 4 mallet solo for you, is the featured person on Log Cabin Blues, and Skylar, who I've been talking about, is the feature on the other two, and I'm going to go over and do a little rat-tat-tatting on the hi-hat over there. So this is our ragtime marimba band block. Okay, coming down the backstretch here. Got two more pieces, a trio, and then a monstrosity Graham Poobah thing to end with. So I'm not sure if this is an accurate statement, but I may have been one of the players that premiered this piece. I know I read off of the handwritten music. The composer, Paul Goldstab, he was a theory professor at Ithaca College, which is where I did my undergrad. And like I said, I know for a fact that I read and performed this reading off of handwritten stuff. This was before 2001, by the way, for those of you that are trying to do the math. Don't worry. 2001 is when it actually got published. This is before that. He's a theory professor. It's a very unique song. It's very tricky. It's what we call a mixed meter. It keeps changing. So you're going to feel like this 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, boom, ba, checka, go, gong, gong, checka, go, gong, gong, kind of feel it. It keeps changing around. But what I remember having fun playing this, and then working with these guys with it is he adds a whole bunch of different sounds just using one drum and a pair of drumsticks. He'll click the sticks together. He'll click on the rims. You'll even see him we call this air playing. It's a visual thing. So instead of playing the rhythm, ga-ga, ga-ga, ga-ga-ga, the performers go in the air, and you see the rhythm. You don't hear it. These three guys put a lot of extra time into this. This is not an easy piece. It's mostly because of the mixed meter, like I said. And of course, the title is a real hoot to pronounce over and over again. 6, slick, stick, click, licks. But I'm not quite, you know what? I screwed up on the stick though. 6, slick, sticks with an X. 6, slick, sticks, click, licks. Have fun with that one. From a musicality or how this works standpoint, it's in a fugue. So you have one person that does the opening rhythm statement, and then it's answered by somebody else, and then the third person answers it. You can hear these fugal patterns kind of move around, kind of thing. It looks like they're about ready. So this is Paul Goldstab's, and I'm not going to say it again, the 6th song. 3 snare drums, 3 different size snare drums, 3 different pitches for a reason. So here's our trio. Okay. First off, thanks for coming. Thanks for tuning in online, all that good stuff. It is interesting, with the whole COVID thing, with the technology and this live stream. The live streaming thing is just skyrocketed. So it's cool where you can have people, especially their parents that, live 4 hours away or something, they're able to tune in, which is great. Okay, so let me make sure I make a couple statements here first and then get into this last song. So we got one more tune for you world music folks out there. The extra credit assignment is due before we start class on Thursday. Boom, it's got to be on Bolt. Because I'm going to talk a little bit about the concert at the very beginning of class on Thursday, and then that's it. And I got time stamped. I know exactly when you guys turn the stuff in through Bolt, so make sure you get it in there before class starts. A huge shout out, thanks to, I love to call him Mr. Nick. We have a wood shop here that's, mostly connected with the theater department, but he and I have hit it off since day one, and he enjoys getting these unique projects from me. So I had him, for this Taiko piece, he created these unique custom little stands for us. Everything that's black wood, black painted wood that you're going to see in the last piece, Nick built for us. So Nick runs the wood shop here. So huge shout out to Nick helping us out. So one of the biggest cultural exports from the country of Japan has been this Taiko drum ensemble. If you've ever been to Epcot in Florida, the countries, in Japan, they do this Taiko presentation every day. But people think that this is something that's been around for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, and it has not. A specific drum, a large drum, mostly used with Buddhist ceremonies or religious ceremonies, or in battle situations as a signaling device. That's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. But it wasn't until the 1950s when a gentleman who was actually studying jazz music here in the States, he was a drum set player, and he studied American jazz, and he kind of put two and two together from a standpoint of, all right, how the jazz stuff is orchestrated, and if I use these authentic, old, been around for hundreds of years Taiko drums, but then come up with newer drums and newer sounds to go along with it, he created this phenomenon. And I want to say 15, 14 years ago, we had a Taiko drum ensemble from Japan that was part of the Celebrity Arts series back then that performed here. And it's fascinating to see live. This has been the song that I've been telling the world music folks, like, if you can come and check this concert out live, this is the payoff. Because hearing this thing live, it's killer. But people think it's been around forever. It's based around the concept of an ostinata, which is a repeated pattern of some kind. A repeated musical pattern. It could be a repeated little melody segment, can be an ostinata, or rhythm. It's got these small high-pitched drums. It's got medium-pitched drums, low-pitched drums. We've added stuff to this. I've kind of added a unique little twist to this piece by Scott Harding that we've kind of based everything off of. I put an APB out to all the marching band members, and I just threw it out there. And I said, hey, I'm looking for more people to play a Japanese Taiko drumming piece. Who wants in? You got to be available Tuesdays from 4 to 5:15. I'll take as many as I can get to a point. So I ended up with a handful of our, I'll still call them current, but we didn't have a marching band in the fall of 2020 because of COVID. But it was fascinating seeing the mix of folks that I had interested. Side note, I think just about all of them, I know all but maybe one I'm a little questioned on. most of them have taken the world music class with me already. So they've seen me talk about this stuff before. And they all had some kind of musical background. I got a tuba player, a clarinetist, a color guard, and 2 twirlers that jumped in. They wanted to join in. So huge thanks for them for jumping in on this. I hope they had fun. And then I've got 4 still living in the area recent graduates. Some are percussion majors, some are percussion minors. I have a gentleman who was actually a guitar major, but he was in the percussion ensemble for like 5-6 semesters, something like that. So if you got the program, all the names are listed on the program. I just want to give a quick shout out. I was able to shout out to some recent graduates at our fall concert, but COVID for the spring of 20 kind of knocked some of us for a loop. So Sydney Andrews, who's been in percussion ensemble the whole time she was here, she's been involved with a lot of this marching activity stuff that I am involved with also. So this is her official shout out because she didn't get one in the spring of 21 or of 20. And then Pia Ripley, she's actually a violin major, but again has been in percussion ensemble all this time. She's now just graduating, so this is the official timing for her. But she's one of these that's been in the group a bunch. So give us a second here because we got this cool little special stuff for you, which I'm going to double check up on. But this is the high energy Taiko drum ensemble concept coming at you.